So I'm at the Willow Springs Cemetery out here in Long Beach, and I'm trying to figure out if this is where they had Letty's grave site. Now, in Fast and Furious 4, it's confirmed that this is the actual grave site from the film, but in 7, it's not the same cemetery. There's nothing for me to go off of, so I'm not really sure where Letty's gravesite is in 7, but I'm here from Fast 4 and there's nothing for me to go off of. So other than like in Fast 4, her grave would be right here, but nothing matches up unless for some reason they ended up moving it. I don't know why they would do that, but it doesn't look like it's on top of a hill. I mean, I remember Toretto rolling in and she tells him that, you know, she lost her memory. She's not the person that she once was. She can't love him the way she used to. But I mean, it does show him pull in his car. So maybe, I don't know. Can anybody confirm? Upon further review of this particular scene in Furious 7, the cemetery here is not the same cemetery from Furious 7. However, this is the exact cemetery from Fast 4 where they had Letty's funeral. Unfortunately, it is not the same one. How I know that is because when Dom rolls up, there is not a tree right there, and there are no longer any light posts, and there's a road that curves off to the right here. That road goes off to the left. So unless they used a heavy amount of CGI for this scene, which is highly unlikely, this scene from Furious 7 was not filmed at this cemetery. But there is a very big resemblance to this specific location. The road up here curves just like this one, and this tree right here at the bottom of it, it kind of curves to the left. So unless they found a cemetery that's almost identical to this one, or they used a heavy amount of CGI, which is unlikely, the cemetery scene from Furious 7 was not filmed here at the same cemetery from Fast 4. If anybody can tell me in the comments down below if they know where Letty's exact gravesite is from Furious 7, please let me know. I would like to figure out where it's at. But yeah, upon further inspection of this scene, after I looked at it, it's definitely not the same one, because I'm pretty sure there's a hill that goes up a little bit more steep than what's right there. So my guess is it's debunked, if you will. It's not the same cemetery, unfortunately. We are back at the Toretto house once more, and in this scene, Brian is loading up the van with little Jack, and he throws a little car out, and Brian says, "Cars don't fly, buddy." At the same time, Mia and Dom are coming out of the door, walking towards the sidewalk, and Mia's talking to Dom, and she informs Dom that she is pregnant once again. Yay! And then Dom gets a call from Han, and at this point we all know Honda is supposedly dead, and there's a package on the porch that is supposedly from Han, but it's not. It's from Deckard Shaw. He gets a call from Deckard Shaw. He's like, "Dominic Toretto, you don't know me. You're about to." He's like, "Get down!" The bomb blows up the house. Now, clearly, it's still intact, but they used a ton of CGI for this shot. Now, I think I remember seeing they had like some fans and a whole bunch of debris, because the last time I was here, this fence was not here. It was like a smaller fence, and they had like some fans and some blowers and stuff to make it look like the sidewalk part was exploding. And Brian and Jack were over here, and the van, the bomb goes off and Brian smacks up against the window, cracking the window. This next location, very emotional. This is where they filmed the end of the movie, the beach scene with Paul and the group. Roman, Tyrese are sitting there talking, blabbering on. Tej tells Roman to keep his mouth shut and just look for 1 second. Dom's like, he's home, where he's always belonged. Dom gets up. Ramsey's like, you aren't going to say goodbye. Dom gets up. He goes, it's never goodbye. Let's look at this location. So this is Leo Carrillo Beach here in Malibu, California, and this is the location confirmed. This is the confirmed location. You know how I know that is because this, where's it at? There's a guard shack right there that can be seen in the background as they're all sitting there talking, and Paul takes the little boy down to the beach to go see Mama, to go see Mia. Crazy to think about. It's definitely kind of emotional being here because it was such an iconic part of that movie, knowing what had happened to Paul in real life. It's just really, really emotional. All right, so here I am at the final scene of Furious 7, the famous See You Again song, playing as Brian pulls up in his white Supra next to Dom. We're gonna take a look at this scene in this location. Let's check it out. So I'm on the corner of Templin Highway and Ridge Route Road. And right over here is where Dom pulled up, and he was stopped right here. And Brian pulled up in the Supra. This is close to the shot. Now it's actually funny because when they shot the scene, Dom, there's an aerial shot and it's showing Dom come in from that direction, but in actuality, he comes in from this direction. So, crazy to think about. And as you can see, there are skid marks all over the road here for people paying their respect to Paul. It's just really crazy to be here. So Dom would have been sitting right here, and Brian pulls up, looks at Dom, and says, "Hey, think you could leave without saying goodbye?" They sort of smile at each other. Next thing you know, they take off down this way. So we all know that Paul tragically passed away during the filming of Seven. So clearly that wasn't him in the scene. They used CGI. Caleb, which is Paul's brother, was driving the Supra, and they CGI'd Paul's face, and they used the scene of Fast 5 when they're all racing, when Brian turns towards the camera and he's talking to everybody in that race when they have the police cars. They used that image, digitally placed his face over Caleb's, and used that for Brian. All right, so now I'm gonna drive where this scene took place. Hey, thought you could leave without saying goodbye? No matter where you are, no matter if it's a quarter mile away or halfway across the world, you'll always be with me, and you'll always be my brother. All right, so as you can see, clearly there's no split off point. So at some point they CGI'd the entire split and made Brian go off in the distance, because there's definitely no ocean from where I'm at. I'm like 60, 70 some miles from the nearest ocean. So that entire scene was filmed where I just drove, and there was no split off scene. All right, guys, that's going to be a wrap on the filming locations for Furious 7. Thank you guys so much for following me around. I greatly appreciate it. If you guys like this video, give me a thumbs up. I appreciate that as well. Remember to comment, subscribe, share, whatever. Remember, keep it fast, keep it furious, but keep it safe. I'll see you guys later on the next one.